Let's bring in a guy that we've missed. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, terribly.
I mean, I wish we could have him on every day, but he's got a life. You know, he goes and shops and stuff like that for his family. The great Hall of Famer, Steve Young. Steve, have you missed us at all?
Big time. One of my favorite things to do is chat with you guys.
Well, we hope that you've had a good summer. I want to start off with this, Steve. Johnny Manziel did not play well so far in the preseason. Is it possible for a guy to be like Joe Namath was, or to be like Johnny Manziel is, and go out and party and not sit there and study for 20 hours a day and still be a great NFL quarterback?
No, it's impossible. If you describe it that way, it's impossible. The guys that do it well, the only guys that master it and get to the at least competent level or above, we'll call it the Eli line or the Philip Rivers line, or someone that's really can play a long time and be productive for a long time. It is like like going to graduate school. It's like going to law school or med school. That's the kind of study and the time you need to put in, and you have to be able to handle a ton of stuff. And you get to professionalize it, and it's one of the hardest things to do in the world, and very few can do it. And you can't. To me, there's no human being now. Joe Namath, it's a different time. What they did, how he did it, and what they asked people to do, it's different. Today, it's significantly more. And because of that, I think you do anything. Date Jessica Simpson, if you want to run around in Vegas on off days, you're not going to be able. You're making it more difficult than it already is, and that makes it too difficult. I don't think it's possible.
And every time I turn around, Steve, I hear a quote from him saying I would never change a thing. I am who I am. Is he just so defiant because he just believes in his confidence so much? And does he really think, is he delusional enough to think that what he accomplished in college means a hill of beans in the NFL?
Well, I think he's gotten a long way by just being really stubborn, and that's one of his MOs. That's his damn stuff that works for him. So I don't mind it. As long as underneath it, he's got a guile, a sense of, I got this handled. In other words, you can have a public persona that you want to manage and handle. One of the great masters was Deion Sanders, who could, great marketers. I mean, you can market yourself and handle all that as long as underneath. And I always say this about Deion: he handled practice. He got stuff done. He studied. He knew what was going on. He's a great locker room guy, and so he could be a great marketer. And that's why I really appreciated him, because that's you talk about athletic. Is that you can have two personas, and you can go to work, yet you can be the guy that's marketing yourself and still be a great team guy. So I don't mind Johnny out there saying, hey, look, this is me, but that's fine. So underneath it, that's not you. You got to go to work, and you got to button it up, and you got to make sure that you're professionalized. And if somebody's going to chirp at you on a sideline, one of the first sideline interactions you have, you're going to now turn and give them the finger and let them know that they got you, because that's all that does, is tell the team, the opponent's team, because this is you're talking about eye for an eye. This is predatory stuff, the NFL. It's not, everybody says it's not college. It really isn't college. I mean, it's significantly different. High school is like a 3, college is like a 5, and pro football is like a 15. I mean, it's that big of a jump. And we've talked about that before, but you can't let the other team know that you hear them, that you're actually going to respond to that. And that actually got to you a little bit. They're gonna beat him into the ground emotionally until he shows that I'm above it. I can handle it. It's not a big deal. And he might think to himself, oh, what's the big deal? So I flipped him off. So what? That's fine. It is in its own little vacuum. So what? I get that. But in the big picture, when you have to be the guy that's out in front of all the stuff that's going on with this team, and you have a team that's been losing and a new coach and everything else, you got to button it up, Michael, and it's not going to work.
Well, Chris Carter was on with Mike Greenberg, and he had a very interesting comment. He said, the NFL doesn't change the person you are. It just makes you more of the person you are. So if you're a jerk, you're going to be more of a jerk. If you're withdrawn, you're probably going to be more withdrawn. I mean, is this surprising to the...
I understand. It's like Oprah saying that money makes you more of whatever you already are. I get that. I get the comment. I understand it. But people grow in context. They grow in how things, they ask for more. Like Johnny doesn't even know if he can do it right now. Nobody knows.
But why would the Browns draft Johnny Manziel? They know what he is.
I think that people grow up. I still think that Johnny can just flip a switch. I mean, it doesn't have to be this way. He doesn't have to. He can figure out, look, you get enough these situations, and hopefully the small one the other day with the Redskins shows him that he says, hey, you know what, I think I can button up. Maybe he's too proud to do it. Maybe it's impossible. Maybe he doesn't get it. If he doesn't get it, then there's no chance, you know?
Talking to Steve Young here on the Michael Kay Show. You can hear him every Monday during the course of the NFL season. Steve, we were talking about the Jets yesterday. Everything points to the fact that Geno Smith is going to be the starter. He's had 75% of the snaps. He started every preseason game. He's been with the number ones the overwhelming majority of the time, and yet Rex won't name him the starter. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, come on. Me and Rex have been at it, you know, a little while about him understanding quarterbacks. And, I mean, I think that just like what happened with the Cleveland Browns, you should, unless you really don't believe he's capable, because you want, of all the, I mean, they were trying to split snap throw in Cleveland, but he's taking, and Michael's giving it to him. Michael's made it easy on him. He understands that this is important to do. They're all playing their roles. To me, give it to him. Let him start to feel that well ahead, you know, in a couple weeks into training camp, let him feel it. I don't understand that. And I'm sure that Rex has a good reason, but I for me, from a quarterback's perspective, the situation they're in, that handled, I would name it. That's just something we don't know what's going on.